What up, though?
Yo, what up, though? It's Jay Sims.
Prolyphic the Professional back with the Unorganized Progression Podcast, giving you another dose.
Yeah.
This week we got something a little special for y'all.
Hey, I'm so excited, man. It's our first,
No,
not
our first guest. It's all good, no disrespect.
Hey, kind of doing this thing out of order right here.
It's been a while. It's been about 10 weeks since we had somebody on with us, so
Yeah.
I feel you. Well, we got somebody in the house with us. Not just somebody that we know, somebody that we've watched grow, come up. You know, we weren't necessarily around for the evolution, but you know, we've known them prior to, and at this point to see what's going on now. So I think it's a pretty cool story.
Yeah, I'm totally amazed by what this guy has done in the past 7-8 years with his life, man. Going from just being in one place and making it to a whole other place, man. The story is quite inspirational, and we just want to share that with you guys. So here we go.
All right, we all set?
We in there? Got our homeboy Chris Wilson on the line with us on the conference with us. Yo, what up, Chris?
What's going on, y'all? What's up, family?
Oh man, over here.
I'm sorry. I haven't been out here in Atlanta too long. What up, though?
Yeah, what up, dog? You got it, dog.
Right.
Yeah, so you said been out there in Atlanta for a pretty long time now, man. You grew up here in Detroit, right, Chris?
I grew up in Detroit. I was born in Dallas, but yeah, I grew up in Detroit. I left when I was maybe 21, 22. I think I left in 2007, September 2007 to be exact.
Wow. Wow. A little over 10 years at this point. Okay.
Yeah, a little over 10, going on 11 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, what brought you down there to Atlanta? Because I know everything that's like super positive that you see in life right now, it happened when you was down there and not necessarily up here. Even though I know Detroit kind of helped, make you, but you
Exactly.
in Atlanta, man. What's been going on?
Well, man, just pretty much like you just said it in a nutshell. Detroit, it gives you the foundation. It gives you the grind. I think we all Detroit people from Detroit, man. We just moved as far as like just taking care of business. I think our hearts just moved to our hearts moved to a different drum, than most of any other city like on the planet. We just because we got to go through so much to get so little. So when we got like a lot of opportunity, what I'm saying, we branch out to other cities like that and go other places. I think we just hit the ground running. So, but yeah, just to give you a little backdrop, I was born in Dallas, moved to Detroit when I was about maybe 2 or 3. My father was in big politics back in Dallas, like in the early 80s or whatever, and he met my mother, and story kind of relates. He met my mother while he was actually married, and he had come to find out he had like another apartment kind of set up thing. So she didn't know anything about it. He was married, so he had a whole other family, and I actually got a brother that's probably like maybe 9 months older than me from his first marriage. So growing up, I didn't really know him all that well. I mean, I would hear about him, I would talk to him on the phone here and there, but I didn't have real understanding about what was going on that side. And I'll kind of get to that a little later. But I moved to Detroit when I was about maybe 2-3 years old, raised on the west side. I went to Benedictine High School, Catholic high school on the west side. And then I went to Wayne State. And, back then, like this is like 10, 11 years ago, we was just running around Detroit just trying to I always knew I didn't want to work for nobody in particular. I wanted to be my own boss and just trying to find my way. And so I had like small businesses or whatever. I had like vending machines. And I tried my hand in real estate. I think at like 20, maybe 20, 10 houses, just trying to I knew I didn't want to work for nobody. So I was just trying to find my way. And I really didn't have no mentorship, like that. Like nobody that kind of like walked me through it step by step. You know, in other communities and other like, you know, ethnic groups, you know, like their parents, they kind of like groom them along the lines. You know, they start teaching them about 401ks and stocks and this, that, and the third. By the time they in high school, you know, they already ready. They almost, you know, they be ready to be millionaires by the time they even 18. So, yeah, so I just, you know, I didn't really have that guidance like that. So I was just, you know, I had to piece it together on my own a little bit. So I was doing that. I was trying to get into in trading, like Forex, commodities, stock, stuff like that. All that stuff like really, really interests me. Nobody really taught it to me, but when I found out about it, it was just like, it's just like second nature to me almost. It was like, yo, I want to, this is what I want to do, you know? So, yeah, I was 21 and had about 10 houses. And then right around that time, around 05, 06, the market tanked and I foreclosed on all of them. Lost all of them, had to file bankruptcy. I'm like dead broke. You know what I mean? I owe friends money, owe family money, the whole nine. I think I had to get like a regular job. I think I was working like at Kelly Services, making maybe $12, $13 an hour, you know, and so I'm like, you know, I'm living in my uncle's basement. You know what I mean? I'm just really I'm out, like I'm pretty bad off at this point. And
that's still here in Detroit, right?
This is still here in Detroit. This is why I hadn't even thought about moving to, you know, coming to Atlanta yet. And so foreclosed on 10 houses, filing for bankruptcy, little to no money. You know, I'm living in my uncle's basement, and you know, I do have a job. You know, I got like I think I bought like a couple of vending machines or something like that. So I was trying to like put my stuff back together, and you know, and trying to like find my way out of this whole situation, and you know, still look at everything from a silver lining or whatever. And it just wasn't really clicking. It wasn't really working for me in Detroit for whatever reason. Because Kelly Service, they fired me. They told me that on my resume, that my resume was 1 month off. Like I started it. They said I started in I started my other job in August, and they said on my resume I put September, and they fired me for it. So I lost that.
It was basically like you had like the law of Murphy happening for you, like everything that
could
go wrong, what happened? Yeah,
everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Yeah, so it was just like, I mean, it was. So I mean, it wasn't happening. I was just trying everything, you know, just trying to like, you know, I'm really trying to, like I said, work for myself. I don't want to work for nobody. So I had my little few vending machines I had. I think I sold that to a homeboy of mine or whatever. And at the time I had like a girl I was kind of talking to back then. She went to U of M, and she moved to Atlanta. And you know, we weren't going together no more. But she used to always tell me, she was like, "Yo, you gotta get out of You gotta get out of Detroit. You gotta get out of Detroit." And I'd be like, "No, I'm not leaving Detroit. I'm not leaving Detroit. This home, you know what I mean? This my, you know, who's here? I got all my friends here, family here. Like I can't leave. You know, I can't leave Detroit. You know, so it's all I really know. Detroit gonna come back. I'm gonna come back. Everything is gonna be right." She's like, "No, I'm telling you, you need to come out here. You need to be in this city." So she was telling me this, you know, like 2 months before they fired me. And, you know, after they fired me, I'm staying in my uncle's basement. I'm like, man, I gotta do something different. You know what I mean? Like I'm still young, you know, I'm like 21. I'm like, I gotta do something different. I gotta change my atmosphere. I gotta change my surroundings. So, you know, I called her. I was like, yo, I'm thinking about just moving up out of here. She welcomed me. She was like, yo, come on. She's like, come on, you can sleep on my couch, you know. And so I sold the vending machines that I had. I think I sold it for like maybe $1,500. You know, that was like all I had. Maybe a couple $100 more or something like that. And I packed all my clothes, my little 2-3 bags that I had. I threw it in my I think I had a Monte Carlo at the time. Remember the '02 ones that came out? Yeah. I packed it up, threw it in my trunk, and I was like, yo, I'm out, you know. I think I told everybody I was leaving, you know what I'm saying? Some people was like, oh, no, he'll be back. He'll be back. But in my mind, I really didn't know. I was just like, I just had to just try it out. You know what I mean? I was like, I just got to just go out here and see what this thing looked like. So touchdown, drove down to Atlanta, and I moved. I slept on her couch for about 2-3 months until we, you know, since I can like trying to figure everything out. And I got a job. I got a job with this investment firm, and I'm thinking like, yo, this is cool. This is what I want to do. You know, I'm about to be working for this investment firm. I'm about to be trading, this, that, and the third. They about to teach me everything I need to know, the ins and outs, like investing and, you know, how to make real money and, you know, this, that, and the third. So I got in with them. I was starting to make a little money or whatever like that. And within 2-3 months of me working with them, they got shut down. Like the whole firm got shut down. Like the whole market just started tanking. Like it was like a depression almost something. So I'm like, I'm like, shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I done moved all the way out here and the same things keep happening, you know what I mean? But it's just a little different because I was just in a different city at this point. And so now it was to the point to where I didn't have no safety net, you know what I'm saying? Because my mother didn't have no house, you know what I'm saying? My mother got evicted, you know what I mean? I couldn't come back to Detroit. Couldn't stay with no family. They weren't, you know what I'm saying? They ain't about to have me in their house. I ain't got no room. So it was like, I ain't had no relationship with my father like that. I couldn't call him up and be like, yo, give me some help. So it was just literally me. You know what I mean? It was like either sink or swim. I had to, you know, I had to eat. So I started doing, I started doing Labor Ready. No lie. Like Labor Ready, one of these little temp agency jobs. And, I'm making $6.25 an hour. Like that's all they got. Labor Ready.
What year was this, you think?
This is 2000, end of 2007, 2008. You know what I mean? Like,
625. Man, it's probably illegal for them to be paying somebody $6.25.
Yeah, I think like that was like the bare legal minimum rate. They might have gave me like on a lucky day, I might have made $7.50. You know what I'm saying? And so I still have my car, and so I would automatically go out and I would work like 10 hours just to make $70. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy. It's like I just had to have money just to, you know what I mean? Like to you know, since I got some food on my plate. You know what I mean? And I was still sleeping on her couch. You know what I mean? And I was giving her a little money here and there. I just wasn't about to just sleep on her couch like that. Just be, you know what I mean? No bum.
Right.
Like, even though I wasn't making much, she was like, why are you going out doing it? I'm like, yo, I got to do this. I just got to do something. You know what I mean? I gotta feed myself. And I don't want to live off you like that. So I started working this Labor Ready job. Back in my mind, I'm like, yo, man, as soon as something gonna pop. You know what I'm saying? Something gonna give, you know, like I don't know what it is, I don't know how this shit gonna play out, but I ended up working I think I ended up getting like a regular gig with it was one of these churches. I think it was Eddie Long Church, that's what it was. And they hired me in, so now I think I'm making maybe $15-$16 an hour, but I'm doing maintenance. You know what I'm saying? Like basic maintenance work, nothing I never even did before. But the lady brought me in, she was like, you know how to write, you know how to send out emails. And she was like, you know, I think you'd be a good addition and we could just use you around here or whatever. So she brought me in, she hired me. And I think I worked there for like 6 months, 7 months. And like you said, it's Murphy Law. Like for whatever reason, something always happened. Like I was working a regular job, I wasn't doing nothing wrong. This dude came in, man, he was like an older cat. And he just could not stand. He could not stand. So I think they let me go. Oh no, I quit because he was just making it. He was trying to get me fired, and so I just quit. And then the church called me back. They said, "Well, listen, man, we'll give you unemployment." He said, "We know what he was trying to do. He's trying to sabotage you or whatever." So this is like 09 or whatever at this point. I'm living on, you know, in Atlanta. I've been out here a year and a half. I'm doing maintenance. Like I'm sweeping the floors, putting up light bulbs in the church. You know what I'm saying? Something totally different than, you know what I mean, and what I had planned in life. So I ended up quitting the job. And that was the other reason too. I'm like, yo, this is not for me. This is not what I want to do with my life like that. You know what I mean? This is just something so I can have a roof over my head. Yeah. So I moved out of my friend's house, girlfriend's house at the time, or wherever we were, and she was like trying to press me about getting married. I'm like, yo, I'm fucked up right now. I can't think about getting married right now. Is you crazy? You know what I'm saying? So
getting married.
You say what now?
Yeah, y'all didn't even know if y'all was together. So how are we talking about getting married? What's going on?
I mean, we were like, you know what I mean? Like we came down here like, you know what I mean? Like we was just friends, but you know, of course, I'm living in the house with her. You know, you already know how that's going. You know what I mean? So she like, yo, well, fuck this. You living out here? I guess she just felt like, yo, I got you out here. You know what I mean? Like we known each other this and the third. I understand her psychology behind the shit, but I wasn't ready. I knew I wasn't ready. You know what I mean? And she was just really just wanted to be married. So I was like, yo, I can't stay in this motherfucker no more. So I had to go get my
You was just like, whoa, gotta go.
Yeah. I was like, nah, I can't do this shit no more. So I told her, I was like, I said, we still cool, but I don't want to put us in no situation like where we hate each other like this. You know what I mean? So I moved out. I got like a little roommate or whatever. And I think I was staying in a room. It wasn't a room house, but I was roommating with this guy that I knew from from this church that I was going to, this other church I was going to. So quit the job, man. They gave me unemployment, and I'm still talking to my ex or whatever, and I think she was moving, and she was moving from one apartment to the next, and her cousin was over there, and so me and her cousin, me and him just started getting cool. Like he was just, I don't know, me and him was cool, just laughing. Next thing you know, we started hanging out. We about the same age. He's a couple years older than me. He was like, yo, man. He was like, man, I'm thinking about doing this thing called storage auctions. And I'm like, storage auctions? What's that? You know what I mean? He was like, yo, you go to these stores, you go to these storage bins, you buy a bin, and you can buy stuff for like $25. Like, let's say somebody don't pay your bill. Let's say you put your stuff in storage and you don't pay your bill. After 3 months, they auction all your belongings in the storage unit off. And so he was like, yo, we should come out here and just start doing the storage auctions. And I'm like, yo, that might be something. I said, I ain't got no job. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting around, I got unemployment. I said, I might as well try my hand with it. So we started going out there. We started doing these we started doing these storage auctions, and I would buy little storage units, and it would be like I would buy it for like $25, and it might have a flat screen in it, or it might have shoes or something like that. Like I think I bought one unit, man, one time for I think $200, and nobody was there at the storage auction, right? It was nobody there. It was like maybe 2 or 3 people, and there was a bunch of tools in there. I mean, just mad tools, restaurant equipment, everything. I bought it for $200. I turned around and sold it for like $8,000. You know what I mean? It was just like I was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? This now we talking. You know what I mean? I'm finally starting to head in the right direction.
Yeah.
So I started doing the storage auctions, and I got a warehouse. I went and got a pickup truck. And and I think I'm moving ahead of myself because when I quit that job, that Monte Carlo that I had, they repossessed that. They took that from me. Yeah, that guy took it from me, and so I was out there with no car.
Is this like 09?
Huh?
I'm trying to get a timestamp. What year are we talking about at this point, at this stage?
So we approaching 2010. We're approaching 2000. We're like 2010 at this point. And so yeah, like I said, car got repossessed. I started hanging with my ex's cousin. My ex-cousin like, yo, man, he said, come out to these storage auctions with me. He said, you can buy these storage units for little or none. You can turn around and start selling some of this stuff. And so I was starting to go to school. I think I enrolled back in school or whatever like that. And I was going to school part-time, and I was getting some unemployment, and I think I was doing like storage auctions on the side, and everything was starting to like kind of like pick up, you know. And I was able to get my own place, get an apartment. I had like a little raggedy pickup truck. I would go to the storage auctions in the day. I would buy these storage units for $100, $200, $300, and I would store it in this other little warehouse that we had downtown. And I was just selling any and everything I could out of there. I was selling I was selling shoes, clothes, furniture, everything. I was going to these little flea markets, setting up, trying to sell stuff, and then I was going to school at night. And so I was starting to make a little money. Like things is like starting to kind of like finally like look up. You know, I'm starting to like actually put my feet on the ground, and you know, I'm maintaining. You know, so I started thinking about, yo, man, I can't wait to get back into, you know, starting to trade, starting to do real estate, you know, and really just starting to like branch out and do what I really want to do, you know. And but I'm just good. I'm happy right now. I'm finally working for myself. I don't have no boss. You know what I mean? I don't need no unemployment, none of that. You know, I'm just working for myself. So storage auction started going good. I started making some money, making some headway. And then this show comes on the scene. It was called Storage Wars.
Yeah.
Right? And so this is around 2011, going into 2012. So, yeah, 2011. So the show comes on, and now everybody's interested in doing these storage auctions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you would go to a storage auction, you might have 5 people there, and you get a storage unit for like $50. That same storage unit now is going for like $600-700. You know what I'm saying? It was like the game just got crazy out here in Atlanta. It was like you couldn't make no money. You couldn't do it for a living no more. You know what I mean? And I knew people that was doing it for a living, like they had kids, putting kids through school. I mean, it was just no money in it no more because there's too many people doing it out here in Atlanta. And this older cat that I kind of took a liking to, he had a warehouse across the street from where our warehouse was, but he had like 2 stores. And he had been doing it for like almost, 7-10 years. And I started talking to him. He was like, yo, man, this shit is about to be over with. He was like, yo, man, we got to find a new hustle. And, we steadily going to these storage units. And, man, it got so bad, I couldn't pay none of my rent. I couldn't get my truck fixed. You know what I mean? And I'm like, shit, man. Every time I try to get into something else go wrong, right? So he's like, yo, man, he was like, it's this new thing that's going on right now. He was like, have you heard of liquidation business? I said, liquid, what? What is that? He was like, yeah, it's called liquidation. Like you can buy like, liquidated merchandise from different corporations, at wholesale price. And you can turn around and try to resell it. And so we crossing into 2012 at this point. I get evicted again. I get evicted out of my apartment. Truck all the way up. Yeah.
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. At this point right now, man, how many times do you think you kind of like fell on your face or kind of felt like, damn, man, again, it was too many to count. Like it got so bad. I think I just became numb to the shit. I just became numb to it. Like it was just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But it's crazy that I sit back and I say this now because in the back of my mind, I was still like, yo, I'm still gonna be rich. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how this shit gonna pan out. Like even though like I was broke, like dead broke, I felt rich. You know what I mean? If that make any sense. Like I knew that I was smarter than everybody. If that made sense. Like I knew like me just sitting here working a job, you know what I'm saying? Not to say it's nothing wrong with doing that, but I just knew that wasn't direction for me. You know what I mean? And even though I keep failing, I just knew like I had to go through this, you know what I mean, to finally get to my, you know what I'm saying, to get to my, to my destination. I knew working a job was not the way to go for me
to get to where I want to be at in life. You know what I mean? Especially being black. You know what I mean? And a black male like that. Like in corporate America, they don't want us in there no legs. Not really. We can only go so far in the reality of things. You know what I mean? So just in my heart, I was just like, yo, I want to be, you know what I mean? This is what I want to do. Even though I'm busting my ass, I'm falling flat on my face. I said, something gonna happen. Something gonna break through. You know what I mean? So, yeah, bust my ass, fell on my ass again, got evicted, truck lost, truck is down. The little warehouse that I had, I think we was paying it was a sweet deal. We was paying like maybe $200 a month, and we had like 10,000 square feet. It was crazy. Yeah, because it was in the back of my homeboy's his house. It was just like an abandoned warehouse, but it was his neighbor's warehouse, and he ain't had no use for it. It was just sitting there. But we hooked up the lights in there. We put like LED lights around there because there was no lighting or nothing. It was just a square brick building sitting in the back of a, you know what I'm saying, like on a residential street. But it worked for us. But he was only charging us like I think like $400 a month between two people, and they got so bad we couldn't even pay that. Like, we couldn't even pay that shit. So yeah, we had to get everything out of there, and I mean, it got real bad, man. We had like trash everywhere in the place, and it was just real bad. And this guy, like I said, is my mentor or whatever. He was telling me about this liquidation business. He was like, man, I'm making money doing this. And I would go over to his store. At this point, I'm back on the bus. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no car. I'm taking the bus. I'm taking the train, and I'm pretty much walking to his warehouse, putting stuff online, just trying to make like $50, $70 for the day. But I said, I'd rather do that than have to sit and go to Labor Ready and work for 10 hours just to make $70. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather go here and put a couple pictures online for him and help him sell his stuff and make me a couple $100 a day. You know what I'm saying? Than sitting here like trying to like work 10 hours for $7.25 an hour or whatever. Like even if I was making $15 an hour, I'd rather do that. You know what I mean? And spend a couple hours a day doing that. So it was just like that was my mindset at the time. So he was like, yo, put it online. You know what I'm saying? You can mark it up or whatever you want. I just need XYZ for it, and you can make the difference. So that's how I was making my little ends meet. Trying to like just put money, food on my table, just using my cell phone. And so yeah, I got evicted, and I'm homeless now, by the way. So no house, no car. Yeah.
Like homeless, or
like homeless, yes, not stuttering at all. Like homeless, nowhere to stay. Like the warehouse that I was staying in that I got evicted in, that they kicked us out. That was like on the other street that had no lights, no nothing in it, no running water. I had an extra key, and I would go in there and sleep at night, literally at night, and it'd be rats inside the building. Like literally, I would go and sleep at night, and you know what I'm saying, like. Because I had to go. I got evicted. I ain't had no place to go. You know what I mean? And so my homeboy, which is my ex's cousin or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I think he just kind of peeped game or whatever. And I think I was staying with this girl on and off that I knew, that I had met. And she had a place. I would stay with her like for maybe a night or two. And I didn't want to stay there too long because I didn't want her to think like, oh, you know what I'm saying? This dude need a place to stay like that. And I think she peeped game on me too. I think she did. Because she would be like, yo, why you always trying to go there at certain times like that? So, of course, that shit didn't last. And I'm sleeping on the train. You know what I'm saying? I'm riding the train all night. I'm sleeping in the warehouse. You know what I'm saying? I'm going up to the school or whatever that I was going to. I think I was still enrolled in school, too. I wash up in the school, you know what I'm saying, school bathroom. And this is like going into, we are like approaching into 2011. And New Year's is around the corner. I remember that shit. And yeah, I'm fucked up. But I'm still steadily putting stuff on online for. Go ahead.
This time right here, you still got like a positive outlook on life, or is it kind of like, man, F this? Man.
I had a positive outlook on it, man. I was like, again, I just said like something's going. I just said, well, I'm just gonna try my hand with this liquidation thing some kind of way. I'm just gonna try to like come up with some kind of money some kind of way, like something going like. I don't know. I was like, well, maybe I might get a Pell Grant or something from school, something. You know what I'm saying? The first chance, that's what I was saying to myself because I saw he was making money doing it. You know what I mean? And he really wasn't even having a lot of merchandise. He was like, yo, man, if you come up on enough money, we can buy a tractor trailer load of this stuff. And so I just said, man, something gonna break. I said, maybe I get this Pell Grant, whatever like that, stay in school. I said, man, first little lump sum of money I get, you know what I mean? I'm jumping head in, right? So I think I started, like I said, I started putting stuff online for him or whatever, and I was making enough money at this time. I was making like maybe $100 a day. You know what I'm saying? This is enough, you know what I'm saying, for me to get like I can at least get like a roommate. You know what I mean? I can stay in somebody's, like, we can share a house or something like that. And I was paying like maybe a $500, $600 a month or something like that. So I was making enough just to do that. And so I was homeless, man, a good probably 30 days, 30, 45, like, yeah, good 30 days. And I know. So I was sleeping in my homeboy's bed, like my homeboy, which is my ex's cousin, he would sneak me in his house in the basement at night because his wife was upstairs. You know what I'm saying? She was like, they had a nice sized house. His wife was doing real well, you know. He was fucked up too, but you know, he was married, you know what I mean? So he had that whole little structure going on. So he would sneak me in the house. I sleep in his basement sometimes, some nights. You know what I mean? And get up in the morning and go out there and hustle or whatever, try to make me some money. But even though he would let me do it, I still give him some money. I'd be like, yo, man, here's $50, something. You know what I mean? Like, that was my whole thing. Like, I ain't never want, even though I was down on my luck, I still wanted to keep my dignity about myself. You know what I mean? Some kind of way. And so, yeah, I just kept hustling, man. I just kept like going out there doing that, going to school. I said, man, I'm going to get some kind of money. And I get a call from my landlord. You know, it's the landlord that evicted me. He really didn't even evict me. I just left because I told him I wouldn't be able to pay the rent. So he was still like cool with me. So he was like, yo, man, you got a letter from the IRS. I'm like, man, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear about no money I owe him. You know what I mean? So he's like, nah, you might want to come over here and see it. In some kind of way, man, I think my mom had filed an income tax like from a couple of years ago. And I go over to the house, I get the letter, it's a check. It's a check for a few $1,000s from the IRS from huh?
I mean, yeah, it's only two letters that you get from them. One saying that you gotta pay us, or here you go.
It's a here you go, right? It's a here you go. It's a here you go. And I take that back. You know what it was? When I got that letter opened up, I was still homeless. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Yep, I was still homeless. I ain't had no place to stay. I was staying I would like go between his basement. So when I got that check, I went over there. I was on the bus, and I remember that shit like it was yesterday. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yo, I thought like maybe I had to wait a couple more months, do something else like in school, get a kick. You know how you get them refund checks from school or something like that, man. So I was like just holding on, waiting. Maybe that might come through in another 2-3 months. So when I got there, I opened up the letter. I was like, oh, what is this? So I called my mom. She was like, yeah, I filed your income tax. And my mom didn't even know about none of this is going on. She didn't know I was homeless. I ain't tell her none of this stuff. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want her to be worrying about it. She's having to file it, and she would call me and tell me like, yeah, look out, you might be getting a little something from the government. So I'm thinking it might be $100 or something like that. I opened the letter. I couldn't believe it. Man, I went straight to the bank. Ran to the bank. And then when I went and cashed the check, I went straight to my mentor. I was like, I got the money. And I'm talking about 48 hours. We went and got them truckloads, and we brought them back downtown. He had like a little hole in the wall, whatever he had. He had like a building he had owned, and that he had bought when he was doing the storage auctions. And then he had one that he was leasing. He lost the one that he was leasing, you know, because that shit it just went bad. So we in the West End of Atlanta. This is like West End of Atlanta is like genocide. You know what I'm saying? It's like the east side of Atlanta. You know what I mean? You don't pretty much get no worse than this shit like Bankhead. Like we in the fucked up part of Atlanta. So we got all this merchandise that we getting from you know what I'm saying, Home Depot, Walmart, Target, and we got a whole tractor trailer load of it. You know what I mean? Like anything you can think of, like ceiling fans, and clothes, and vanities, and faucets, and toilets, and all this stuff. Like, but it's brand new in the box. You know what I mean? Brand new in the box, and we can sell it at this point for half price and make a nice profit. You know what I mean? And so we bought it, got it back here to Atlanta. We in the West End. I put it online, and I mean, I sold probably the whole tractor trailer load. I'm talking about maybe 2,000-3,000 items within like 48 hours.
Damn.
I sold the shit out of it, like sold it quick. I mean, I made all my money back times 2. And I was like, whoa, you know what I mean? So I got a roommate or whatever, and I was just like, I didn't even have no car. So what I was doing was I would go on Craigslist, because what I would do is I would go to these flea markets, you know what I mean? And I would set up at these little different flea markets around Atlanta. And like the flea market had like excellent traffic that was just coming through there. People just walking through the flea markets. So people would stop and buy it. But you know, it's like large items. I mean, I got tools and drills and ceiling fans and all this. It's a lot of stuff, but I ain't had no truck. So what I would do was I would get on Craigslist. I would find people that needed work. Like they'd be like, yo, I would put an ad on like, yo, I need somebody who got a pickup truck. You know what I mean? Like that. And I'll pay you $60, $70. And they would come pick me up from my house. You know what I mean? This is before Uber. They pick me up from my house in their pickup truck. I go pick up the merchandise, put it on their truck, go to the flea market. I would sell all this stuff. Like I would sell it. I would make like maybe $1,500, $2,000, like 2-3 hours. I give them their $60, $70, and I go back and do it all over again. Like this is my routine every weekend. And I start stacking my money. And then I got enough money up to buy me an actual 24-foot, like a U-Haul truck. You know what I mean? So I didn't need them no more. You know what I mean? So now I can take.
Been so far?
How
long has it been since you got into
so I've been doing it. I got the check from the IRS like November and cashed it November 2011. By summer of 2012, I had bought me a truck.
Okay.
So 6-7 months into the game, I was able to get me a truck. And I think I paid maybe about $2-3 grand for it. It was an old beat up U-Haul truck. And I would drive this U-Haul truck, you know, around to these flea markets. But now instead of just being on the pickup truck, I got a big U-Haul. So now my money is quadruple now, because now I can pack this joker with all kind of stuff on it. Like I can get 4 or 5 times more inventory, you know what I mean, to go sell. And what I would do was I would put like little ads out on Craigslist or whatever. And I'd be like, yo, come out here. I got all this merchandise. And then people just come from all over the city and just meet me at this flea market. You know what I mean? So I was creating my own foot traffic, you know what I'm saying, online. People would come from online and come meet me at the flea market, plus the people that was coming there, you know what I'm saying, that's just walking through. And the vendors used to be like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they ain't never seen nothing like this before. Like, the most you would make at a flea market was like $100. Now you talking about somebody that's coming out there selling damn near a whole tractor trailer load of merchandise in hours like that. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? And yeah, so me and my business partner, man, we just go ahead.
I was just saying they probably wasn't using that internet like you were though. You know, the people that
they weren't using the internet like I was. And then too, the merchandise we was getting was brand new. I mean, it's the same part, it's the same box that you would see in Home Depot, Walmart, or any other of these stores. And people would walk up on me like, yo, is this shit stolen? They'd be like, is it stolen? I'd be like, nah. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I got like a little inside connection, man. And I just go every weekend. And I'm still storing my stuff in my business, you know, my mentor's warehouse that he had on the West End. You know, I didn't have no store or nothing like that. So that was his store. He was literally using that as his storefront, and he was going to the flea markets. And so, like, you know, like when we start making money, people like, you know what I mean, even though we was partners with it, people like, like his wife, she'd start like nitpicking with me, like trying to like charge me more money for shit, and oh, you taking up too much space, and this, that, and the third. And it was starting to like, we were starting to like step on each other's toes. So this is like maybe 9 months in the game. I said, man, I'm just gonna go get me a warehouse. You know what I mean? So I said I moved away. I moved like, I think he was downtown Atlanta. I went and got a warehouse maybe 15 minutes away from him because I didn't want to be stepping on his toes like that because we got some of the same merchandise. So I'm on the west side of Atlanta at this point. I got like a 1,500 square foot little warehouse, small little warehouse or whatever. And I'm in the back in the cut all the way in the corner. Like it's no foot traffic, no nothing. You wouldn't even know I was there. And
I was a little curious how much the warehouse cost you.
You say what now?
How much did the warehouse cost you?
The warehouse would cost me $600 a month. Okay. Right? $600 a month. And
$1,500?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and the thing was, I had failed, what I'm saying? I had failed so many times, you know what I mean? That I was so hesitant to even get in the warehouse. I should have got it like even 3 months before, but I'm like, yo, I done lost. But on the flip side, I said, man, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I got to go for broke. You know what I'm saying? This shit is rolling right now. I said $600 a month. At the time, that was a lot of money for me. I said, worst come to worst, I said, I can go to the flea market and make that. You know what I mean? So I said to myself, if I can make that $600 and get in this warehouse and I got a place to stay, I said throughout the week, I can just pump, like just get on Craigslist and whatever all these sites and just bring foot traffic to the store. Mm-hmm. And man, I got in that warehouse. I outgrew that shit in 4 months. 4 months. I'm talking about, 4 months. I outgrew the warehouse. Like, I'll start putting stuff online. I'm talking about it would be at least 100 people coming in there a day in a 1,500 square foot warehouse. Like, it would be like, I had stuff, because, you got bathroom cabinets, whatever like that, and kitchen cabinets. So I had, like, all this shit stacked all the way to the top of the damn, like, to the ceiling. And I got guys working for me. You know what I'm saying? I think my brother was out here at the time. He had no job. He needed a job. So he moved to Atlanta. And then I had another little dude from around the hood or whatever. He needed a job. You know, I met this girl at a flea market. She would come in and like help me or whatever like that. And so these tractor trailer loads would just pull up to this little 1,500 square foot warehouse. And we just had this shit stacked all the way around. It was just shit everywhere. Right? But people steadily coming in, even though this shit looked crazy. You know what I mean? And I just was like, we made the best of that shit. So I would go to the flea market on Saturdays and Sundays, and I would leave my brother and this girl in the warehouse, and they'd be selling on Saturdays and Sundays. Plus I was open 4 days out the week. So money was starting to roll in. I'm like, yo, I outgrew this. So now the jump was from 600 to I think $1,700 a month. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, this is my next hurdle right here. You know what I mean? I had to pay like $1,700 a month. You know, I had never paid that kind of money in my life. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even think for a house. You know what I mean? I'm like $1,700. I gotta hop over $1,700 plus the light bill, plus all my employees, plus this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? I done failed. I done went bankrupt. I done lost everything. You know what I'm saying? And I said, fuck it. Let's do it. So like this is like November 2012, somewhere around that part. I went ahead and signed the lease, and I moved from a 1,500 square foot warehouse to 7,500 square feet. So I'm 6-7 times bigger than what I was before. And I got in that warehouse, and I ain't never looked back, man. I ain't gonna be honest with you. It took off, and we was still like we was off in the cut still. You know what I mean? But I had so much clientele from that little small warehouse. You know what I'm saying? Putting stuff online, going to those flea markets, that people just follow me over there to the other store, and it just took off, man. It took off, and I was in there for 2 years. So now we moving a little forward ahead. I got enough money to buy me a car now, a decent car. And
what kind of car you get?
at that time, I had a Dodge Challenger. I went and
Okay.
bought a Dodge Challenger, and I still had the U-Haul truck or whatever like that. And that was my first actual like real car since I left Detroit in 2007. Yeah, so I went 5 years without having like a actual decent car. Like I can actually go pick a girl up. You know what I'm saying? And I actually can start buying clothes again. You know what I'm saying? Like decent looking clothes and like if y'all had seen me during that time, y'all probably wouldn't even recognize me. Y'all have been like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
For a while. Yeah.
Huh?
Along this time, man, we haven't spoken to you, man, probably for about all while you were gone, pretty much. I think
Nope. I hadn't spoken to nobody. I hadn't talked to nobody. I'm out 5-6 years. I hadn't spoken to nobody. I think the only person I had spoke to, because I didn't have your number anymore some kind of way. Carlos, I didn't have his number. I had nobody's number, but I know that time is coming. But yeah, I finally was able to get a car, and my brother was out there working for me or whatever, and got in this warehouse, and that shit just took off, man. Took off in ways I didn't even imagine. It got crazy, and it was
So life is getting pretty good right now.
Life is starting to finally look up, but I'm getting nervous now. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, yo, huh?
Because it ain't never last.
How long is this gonna last? You know what I mean? And I just stayed down, man. I kept my I've had trials and tribulations even in this game, but I moved to a new warehouse or whatever like that, but we had like little droughts and we had to switch different vendors we had to use and this, that, and the third, but it never stopped my flow because I always maintain that bridge, you know what I'm saying, between me and my mentor, or me and this person, or me and that person like that. And I turned my homeboy and I got him in the game. The dude that my cousin's my ex's cousin or whatever, I got him in the game. So he went and got him a warehouse. And I got another homeboy, I got him in the game. He got a warehouse. They went and got warehouses way on the other side of town. They didn't want to compete with me or whatever like that. So in that 2-year time frame, 2.5-year time frame, I put like 2 of my partners on that was out here. And we just all like kind of just kept it, you know what I'm saying? We kept everything between us like that. Like that, we didn't want to step on each other's toes, and you know what I mean? We just stayed down, man. And I had I think at that time I had like maybe 4 or 5 guys working for me, and it was just and I think at the time I could pay them like $9, $8, $9, maybe $10 an hour at best. And then one of the craziest things ever though was I think in 2014 was I got a call from my mom, and she was homeless. You know what I'm saying? She was like living in her you know what I'm saying? She was living in her car. And that shit was heartbreaking, you know what I mean? Because she almost 60-some years old. And I just moved her out here. I said, fuck it, you know what I mean? So I just went, I got her an apartment. I think the apartment may have been like maybe $500-600 a month, and I just put her in an apartment, and I said, I'm just gonna buy her a house some kind of way, you know what I mean? So put her in an apartment. I paid for the apartment for like a year. I just went and bought a house, you know what I mean? I just paid for it. I think I paid cash for the joker and fixed it up. All the stuff that I was getting in from Home Depot, and all that stuff, all the flooring and tile and ceiling fans and all that stuff, I just put it all in the house, and fixed it up, and she just gave it to her like, yo, here, like that. And that was like probably one of the good best feelings I had, and so now, like I said, I'm rolling now. We getting into 2014, 15, whatever like that, and I move into my current warehouse. Well, no, I think it was 15, 16. I moved into the warehouse that I'm in right now, which is like, I think 9,000-10,000 square feet. But is actually a storefront now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm on a major highway. It's kind of like being on Woodward Avenue.
Oh,
You know what I
sweet.
mean? Yeah, like having a store like on Woodward. Yeah. And yeah, I've been in there for almost going on 3 years now, and got billboards around the city. I'm in magazines. Yeah, a lot of people, man, on this, you know, a lot of people really do kind of, they know the business. You know, they come through. It definitely speaks for himself. I just always want to just offer good quality merchandise to people. Like the stuff comes in, it's salvage, but I don't treat it as salvage. Like when customers come in, I try to treat it as if though they walk in Home Depot. So,
Right.
so yeah, so you know, it allowed me to not, you know, when I was in this business, you know, it's allowed me to now start doing the stuff that I really wanted to do. You know what I mean? Start doing real estate, start getting back into, you know what I'm saying, into trading, start putting my hand in other investments, like, you know, like really being a serial entrepreneur, you know. And at the time, like I said, you had asked me in 2007, this was the road that I would take to get there. I'd have, you know what I mean? I'd have been like, what, you know? So, I think just staying down. And I think last year, was it 2015? Was it, what is this? This 2018. Yeah, so 2016. Shit, I grossed over 1.3 million in sales. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
So that was a big accomplishment, and I didn't even realize it. You know what I'm saying? Like my accountant came in and did all of the paperwork and everything, and he was like, "Yo, man," he said, "Huh?"
You went from always having an entrepreneurial spirit to vending machines to real estate at an early age to going out to Atlanta to falling on your face several times to final liquidation to being broke at home to actually for over a 1.2, $1.3 million in sales.
Yup, 1.3.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah. That's excellent, man.
Good, man. Persistence
too.
I mean,
definitely, man. Definitely.
Is there anything you wouldn't have done now, looking back? Or is there anything
I would have did different?
Yeah.
Is anything I would have did? You know, and I go back to that whole story about my father. I know when I first kind of started it off, I was saying like, you know, he was married, he had another family and wife and kids like that, like, and then I was like the bastard or whatever. Growing up, I used to be like, yo, why me? You know what I'm saying? Like, why I can't have you know what I'm saying, like a mother and father in the house, or you know what I'm saying? Why am I, you know what I mean? Why my shit gotta be this way? You know what I'm saying? Why I gotta know about the lights being about to get cut off, and why I know about the eviction notices about to be put on my mama's door? Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, why I can't be out there with his family? Or, you know what I'm saying? They got a nice house. They ain't got to be worried about that shit. Like, so growing up, you know what I'm saying, damn near in poverty almost, or a little bit above poverty, or lower middle class, however you want to put it. I used to be like, yo, man, why my shit? You know what I mean? Like, why my life got to be like this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why I can't do this or that? And, you know, even going forward, like, even with that, you know what I mean? Like, going through that part of my life, that early part of my life, you know what I'm saying? That helped me mentally go through what I went through when I was out here. You know what I'm saying? Because it gave me so much strength. Like, I already knew what it means to, you know what I'm saying, to not have. So what it made me, like, that little young part growing up, having to live in hotels and motels because I was going homeless. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom got evicted out of the house and had all that shit. Like, I was some kind of way that shit just made me strong as hell when I was young. So when I got out here in the real world, I was already built for it. You know what I mean? Mentally, you know, like that, those early stages, that's your development stages. Like that 10, 11, 12, 13, like all that's your development stages, physically and mentally. So as I became a man and I jumped out here in the real world, I was like, yo, this is a cakewalk. You know what I mean? Back in my mind, I said, this is a cakewalk. I know I'm gonna be rich. You know what I'm saying? I was still like arrogant with it. So, like, I guess like this, the question you asked, would I change anything or even had any regrets? No, I wouldn't change shit.
Okay.
I wouldn't change shit. Now looking back on it, I know why I went through what I went through. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. I needed to go through all that to bring me to where I'm at right now. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't even be here. I guarantee you I wouldn't.
Where would Chris be at in 5 years?
In 5 years,
Yeah.
probably 5 years, probably I'm gonna own something major. It's gonna be something crazy. Maybe I might own the Hawks. You know what I mean? 5 years on the Hawks. Maybe I have a little investment in the Hawks or something like that.
You be losing money, man. You be losing money with them bombs.
You say what?
You'll be losing money with the Hawks. Don't.
Word, 'cause they ain't worth for shit. I definitely can't buy no. I wouldn't buy no Detroit Lions. I know that much.
Hell no. Franchises, man.
No, man, but realistically, I don't know what sky's the limit. But I know, man, one thing. Just trying to just continue to build, man. Build. I really want to just have something set up for like, you know, my next generation. I don't have no kids, but eventually I will. And you know, like other, like you said, me and you used to talk about this shit all the time back when we was in Detroit. Like they got white, you know what I mean? Like all the Jews, you know what I'm saying, the whites, all these other families, they got different situations set up, you know what I'm saying, for their kids, you know, and different and you know, things are already put in place for them. So when they get out here in the real world, they don't really have to like go through some of the struggles that we gotta go through. You know what I mean? Because it's
right.
We right now we live in a system. We live in a white supremacy systematic country right now. You know what I mean? So like it's already against us the way the system is set up. You know what I mean? And so you know I easily could have got locked up. You know what I mean? Went down the wrong path, like got so hungry and thirsty and started doing something I didn't need to be doing and got locked up. Like easily could have went that route. So I just want to you know what I'm saying? Like the older I get now, I just want to make sure even if I don't have no kids, maybe my cousins or whoever else, you know what I'm saying? Just had that something that foundation for them, you know what I mean, to be set up. So when they get out here in the real world, they ain't got to go through all the struggles and tribulations like we had to, you know, like, you know, I know for me at least, you know what I mean, that I had to go through and trying to find a way, you know, just having that bridge for them. Just like some of these other ethnic groups, you know?
Yeah, man. And we also, to that point that you just made, we gotta, as a people, like not three of us, but just as a people, period. Like we always talk about building something, hand down to the next generation, but we also gotta stop shaming people for being put in those situations. You know what I'm saying? Like all three of us grew up with a kid that had a family that was well off or may have had a family business that they just rolled over into, and we talk shit about it. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
But we gotta cut that out because don't no other ethnic group do that, talking down to the next person or talking about, yeah, you had life handed to you, man. Ain't that what we working for?
Yeah.
Ain't that the whole point? The whole story that you just mentioned, same thing that we trying to do here, man. We trying to make it better and easier for next generation. So I go for everybody out, man. Some bullshit out, man.
And I think too, man, it's like we're afraid to fail. You know, like if you didn't fail, if you gave up on your second venture, your third venture, right, and you said, you know, the job I just worked for $12, $13, $15, whatever it was you worked for, $30 an hour, whatever it is, you know, you wouldn't be where you are today.
I absolutely. And like I said again, I knew that wasn't for me. You know what I mean? Like even when I was young, I mean, should y'all remember back in Detroit, I was always like hustling little nigga, man. You know what I mean? I was always trying to get my hands into something. You know what I mean? Let it be the little vending machines and real estate, Forex, whatever, you know?
So for the people that's coming up right now, aspiring to be something great in life, they don't know what it is. What do you tell that person? How you keep that person motivated that may have failed out a few times?
Man, keep going. and know that you're going through it for a reason. You know, you gotta like. I think sometimes, man, people just gotta fall flat on their face for them to bounce all the way up. I do. I think that really is like the parable say, like you gotta sit in that hot oven. You know what I mean? And it makes you golden. You know, when you come out of that oven, you ready. You know, so you got to go through those tribulations. It ain't nothing easy. Because if it was easy, everybody would be rich. You know what I mean? Everybody would have it. So it's not easy. It's just how bad you want it. You know, and you can't let nobody tell you otherwise. You know what I mean? People probably didn't, you know what I mean? Like family told me, oh, you know what I mean? You get a job. And that's the reason why I left Detroit too, is because I didn't want that in my ear. You know what I mean? Like I knew what I was going through. I didn't want none of that negativity. I wanted to be out here on my own, just, you know what I mean? Clear, you know, just me, whatever situation I had going through, and God. And when you got people that's in your ear and they being negative, that shit, it does something to your spirit. You know what I mean? And when you trying to come up like that, you trying to stay 10 toes down, and you trying to come off of E like that, you can't be having no negativity going on. You know what I mean? You trying to really grind, you know. So you want to be around people that's got the same mindset as you have. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the biggest things that helped me. You know what I'm saying? Just staying around people that had the same mindset that I had and wanted to do, you know, doing the something. And I had to go find the people that was doing the things that I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Even some friends, I mean, I just had to like step away from a little bit because that just wasn't my, you know what I mean? They wasn't in the same direction I was headed.
I'll say this, man, get ready to wrap it up. But I know I got to spend a little bit of time with you and your family a couple of weeks ago over like the holiday season. And
Right.
I just want to say, man, I was completely amazed and blown back, man, by like what you was doing for everybody. You know, you took everybody to dinner. You know, it had to be about 25 people there, man. I know that's not cheap at all. You know,
no, not really.
Talking to
not really.
And it was like it made me gain like a higher respect for like what you all have been through, because like I saw it in your mom's face, like you are her baby. You know, it was like she was thinking like my baby. It reminded me of a mother whose son plays for the NBA. You know, she's pretty happy, man, and I know it's because of like your principles, like the work that you put out, and just what she's seen you do. And
right.
I want to ask you too, man, like if you could have like one word or a couple words to, you know, kind of describe, you know, who you are really, you know, like whether it's a champion or a winner or whatever it is, man, what would that be?
One word, it would probably just be something that has something to do with consistency. You know what I'm saying? Willpower. Like my email address is Chris Will Win. You know what I mean? So when you think about it, you know what I'm saying? I took off the SON and I put Will Win. It's like I'm gonna win. Like regardless of how you think about it, like, you know what I mean? Like you might beat me now, you might knock me down. I'll be right back up right at you. You know what I mean? Like I might lose everything, but guarantee you I'll be back tomorrow and watch. I had way more than what I had last time. You know what I mean? And heart. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing. Like even when I'm in the gym, you know what I'm saying? This dude's 2-3 times bigger than me. But one thing they can't never say is I ain't got heart. If you beat me this time, whatever I do, but best believe I'll be right back at your ass. And that's the same thing I think about, like, you know what I'm saying, in life. You know what I mean? Just having a heart. You know, and a lot of people just don't have that like that. That it's that little something in the inside that sits, that little fire. You know what I mean? And I don't know I think I probably got, like I said, just growing up, man, growing up in poverty like that, and just like having that will, like, yo, I want to do something, you know what I'm saying, with myself. Like, I don't want to live like this. You know what I mean? And I think that's that burning desire. And I think it's just that burning desire to, like, I think maybe subconsciously, like, prove to my father, like, even though you did shit on me in real life, look at me now, like that. You know what I mean? And I think that's where a lot of that shit, you know, a lot of it come from, like, just trying to just prove to myself, you know.
Yeah.
So probably hard willpower, like that. Yup.
I'll say this, man. You know, you're inspiration to me. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure Sean too. So
Yeah, man, this is all new to me, so I'm just kind of taking it in. Like I know that y'all kind of had this conversation already, so I'm kind of.
Don is a viewer like everybody else would be a viewer at this point.
it wasn't,
you know what I'm saying? But
some of the stuff I did know wasn't in so in depth. You know, it was really eye opening, man. And
yeah,
and I think this is what, you know, some people need to hear, because it's all way that necessarily like going maybe like what they said, the easy way out, you know, selling drugs or doing something illegal, robbing, stealing, man. We could all be creative.
None of it is easy. That's not even easy.
No, it's not.
It's just a horrible way.
it's not. The same energy you spend doing that, man, you must do the same. If you trying to really make some real money, you're gonna spend the same energy opening up a real business. I guarantee you will. By the time you try to loop around and find this loophole and find this, if you get that creative to make that kind of money illegally, which is harder to do, then you can easily go out here and do your own thing legitimately. I guarantee you can. Sure. So, I mean, that's not my thing. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna knock nobody hustle, whatever like that, whatever you do. But me, myself, I was like, yo, I always knew, like, yo, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Yeah. And I'm definitely ain't snitching. So I'm gonna do that time. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to put my hands in nothing like that. So I just stay clean, man. But yeah, hey, man, like I said, I had always rap with you, man. I always used to look up to you, man, believe it or not. Because you always, man, you know, like coming up, you always had a nice whip. You know what I mean? Always used to have 2-3 jobs. You know what I'm saying? He was always like real, like, you know what I'm saying, about like frugal about his money, save his money. Like, I used to be like envious of that. Like, damn, I wish I could be like that. You know what I mean?
Like what?
And
Like what?
Like, it was just like you was just ahead of your time, like growing up like that. Like, we was all talking about, even though, you know, I wanted to like do my own thing, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you was in a different mind state. I remember back then, like, you know what I'm saying? You was just like, yo, like, you know, we spending money on this, and you would compare it to like somebody else, like a whole nother family, and be like, yo, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So it'd be like, for an example, it'd be like let's just say we working our job, we making $15 an hour or whatever like that, and we might make $800 or whatever like that. And you would just put everything kind of like in perspective. You know what I'm saying? In the grand scheme of things, like, you wasn't foolish at all. I think that was the most. That's what I'm really trying to get across. Like, he was like real like about your business. You know what I'm saying? About taking care of your family. You know what I'm saying? And not really with bullshit. Huh?
I definitely appreciate that, man. I've definitely done foolish things, but I have to consider myself to be too foolish.
Not enough to put you in a hole.
No. I will say too, man, that, you know, everybody's journey is a little different, man. And like you, man, I fell on my face a couple of times, but I haven't reached yet the level of success that you have. You know, and I look to be there soon. You know, but everybody's journey is a little different. I know. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely, absolutely. But I mean, shit, man, even with you and your old lady, like, y'all been together for quite some time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you probably one of the only dudes that I know, You know what I'm saying? That it's like still with his wife. You know what I'm saying? Still with his family and young. Like you only about a year older than me.
Yeah.
So and I used to look at that like, wow. You know what I mean? And you was like real disciplined. That was the thing that had me crazy. That was like, this dude is crazy disciplined. I don't know if you still are. I think you gotta be. But I remember back then, like your discipline was just mad crazy, man. You used to just go to work, you used to be looking for another job, look for this job, look for this job. You know what I'm saying? And you was just focused. You know what I mean? I remember that. And so all that, like using all that, like everything, like I just took like little pieces of stuff, man, that I guess I picked up, especially just being in Detroit. So when I came to Atlanta, even though I bust my ass flat on my face a few times in Atlanta, like just being around y'all, being around that city, all that molded helped me, you know what I'm saying? Like really, really, really grind and come out here and like really, really get this thing cracking like that. You know what I'm saying? So
You did it, dog. I mean, we expect like pretty good things out of you in the very near future, man. Pretty soon, you know, you be like some investment mogul, you know, trying not to stop, man. And we definitely, as friends, we'll keep in touch. But also, man, from time to time, we'll bring you back on the platform to actually just be like a breath of inspiration to people, man. Just show them like how much further you could go. And when you
yeah, definitely. I don't have no problem telling nobody the story. And it's crazy though, a lot of people don't even know until I sit down and actually tell them like that, like really just sit down and tell them. Like even the stories, the Atlanta part, y'all didn't even know anything because I haven't really had a chance to even rap with y'all about that whole part. I mean, y'all knew me from Detroit, and y'all remember when I had the Ford Probe in those days, Ford Escort. I don't even know if y'all remember that. That red Ford Probe, but
I remember that.
yeah, man. Yeah, so just just that progression. But yeah, I don't mind sharing the story at all.
Okay. Well, thanks, man. And like I said, definitely appreciate it, man. This is the first of many just talks that I think we can have here on Overnight Progression, you know, with you, Chris, man. And I guess we'll see you later, dog.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll definitely be
Most
checking
definitely,
in.
Sean, man. Always good catching up with you. Always good seeing you. We gotta go back to Chicago one day.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm down with it. I still go out there every summer, you know, but it's
Yeah, no doubt.
yeah, man, we'll keep in touch with you outside of this and
All right, for sure.
back on, but you know, it's more important that we talk outside of this anyway. This is just for the people and all that, but you know, just as homeboys, we need to, you know, keep it a little bit tighter than it has been. But I understand. Now that you told that story, now I know why I hadn't heard from you. But I'm not worried about it like that anyway, so it's all good, bro.
Yeah, most doubt. No doubt. Yeah, we definitely gonna rap some more, y'all.
For sure, man.
All right.
Hey,